The 3D printing world is full of PLA Plus, PLA Pro, PLA Max, Tough PLA, and my new favorite, Tough Pro PLA Plus. Every company has their own upgraded version of PLA, and frankly, I always thought it was a bit of a scam, but I'm putting a few of them to the test to see if it's ever actually worth ditching regular PLA and entering the confusing weird world of premium PLA upgrades. In total, I tested 8 PLA filaments, and now, disclosure, I'm no Stefan from CNC Kitchen, so I'm not going to try to live up to his level of scrutiny, but I printed a few tests and built a DIY test bench to see the type of loads each filament can withstand in comparison to each other. For my test bench, I used just a spare piece of lumber. I did this really DIY and just bolted a winch on one end and a crane scale on the other. And I designed these little pieces right here to hook into both sides, and I'm just going to pull them apart and see how much force it takes to do so. I measured multiple times for each material, as well as tested in 2 different orientations to also get a feel for the layer adhesion of each material. There's a lot more tests I could have done, but this is what I could test easily from home by myself. I'll get into the results really soon, but before I do, let's meet the contenders. And I just want to show you how they print. I'm using both PLA and upgraded PLA Pluses and Pros and whatever you want to call them. To keep things fair, I use the manufacturer's recommended print settings on each. So while I'm sure I could tweak settings to work better for each filament, this was the only real way to keep things fair in my opinion. I also printed everything on a 0.25mm layer height with a 0.6mm nozzle, all on the same Mark IVS from Prusa. All right, first up is Prusament's PLA. This is a good baseline for plain PLA. I've never had any issues with it. I primarily print with Prusament, so this is one of the companies that care the most about tolerances for filaments and their overall reputation. So I've never had an issue with Prusament after dozens and dozens of rolls. That being said, there was some stringing, but everything else printed great. This is a clean benchy too, and really nothing else to say until we get into the data. The second PLA is from FILAMATRIX. This is an American filament manufacturer, and this is their equivalent to Prusa's Galaxy Black. The sparkles here could have, but shouldn't have any real effect on strength or layer adhesion, especially since we're printing on a large nozzle. And again, stringing is about the same as Prusament's PLA. Overall, everything is passable. The last regular PLA is the least expensive. It's this blue, just generic PLA from the company Nextshapes. It's their standard PLA. But this filament caused the first print issue. There was stringing, like with the other filaments, but there was also an issue with filament getting dragged out of one of these towers, almost like the print was paused and restarted. Never happened to any of the other filaments, and I'm curious to see how this actually holds up in the strength tests later on. Now on to our 5 premium PLAs. And while we're at it, let's jump into the Pro version of the Nextshapes filament. This is Nextshapes PLA Pro. Now this actually printed great, and it looks and feels a whole lot closer to just regular old PLA. It has the same characteristics as Prusament and FILAMATRIX at first glance, and overall, I'm just happy with it. It's passable, it works. Next up is HATCHBOX and their PLA Max. This one I was actually really excited to try out because I liked the kind of matte sheen on this, and it has a great finish. However, this did not print with recommended settings. I tried multiple times and had multiple failures, but when I printed using just standard PLA settings in Prusa Slicer, it printed perfectly. Given that I didn't actually tweak settings, I just ran the most basic profile I could find, we'll continue to use it, but HATCHBOX really should work on that a bit because I followed your instructions and it failed. I should be able to trust your instructions more than I should be able to trust a Prusa generic profile. Now here's VOXEL PLA's PLA Pro. I think these are the best looking prints yet. There's no stringing and it printed perfectly. If I were to rank these on looks alone, VOXEL PLA's PLA Pro would by far be the best. Diving into another premium PLA filament, we have this black PLA from MATTERHACKERS. This is their PLA-TOUGH. It prints as well as all the other PLAs minus VOXEL. There's some stringing, but with minimal enough Post-processing, it'll be fine. It's just not as good, again, as VOXEL PLA. And finally, our last filament is the one with the craziest name. It's TOUGH Pro PLA Plus. This is the most scammy name out of all of them because all they're trying to do is get the search terms in the name of the product. So none of these words mean anything. It's just so that if you type in TOUGH PLA, TOUGH Pro PLA Plus will come up. If you type PLA Plus, it ends in PLA Plus. If you type Pro PLA, they just ordered the words so that if you're searching on Google, this will come up. However, I like 3D Fuel. They made the clear PCTG that I used in my clear filament comparison. It printed great. I like the people there too. It's just, you don't know what you're getting. It's just TOUGH Pro PLA Plus. It's everything thrown together. So far, I have 3 buckets for how these filaments printed, the print quality, and just overall how I feel about the filament. At the bottom is Nextshapes Standard PLA. And of course, even though it looks great after changing the settings, the HATCHBOX PLA Max couldn't print properly at first, so I had to put it in this bottom category. Then we have almost every other filament that are all good enough. It's PLA, it works. But the third box is VOXEL PLA Pro by itself because it's the only flawless print. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the strength and adhesion test results. Looking at the tensile strength of each filament, you can see that HATCHBOX PLA Max was miles ahead of everybody else and nearly twice as strong as VOXEL's PLA Pro. This doesn't tell the whole story though, because when VOXEL's PLA broke, it was the only PLA to not have a clean break, but it was stretched out and almost hanging on. The other piece of this is that it's interesting to me how similar the classic PLAs are. All 3 of these are within a negligible difference. This makes sense because for the most part, PLA, polylactic acid, is a chemical and it should always perform similarly. But again, even the filament I thought that had poor print quality was right in the middle of the pack. These being in the middle makes sense too because the premium PLAs have additives that cause characteristics to stray one way or another from the base PLA that they're made from. I'm curious what PLAs you use. I'm always messing around with filaments, so let me know in the comments. And also, this video doesn't have a sponsor, so all I'll say is subscribe to help the channel grow. Now on to the layer adhesion test where we snap these along the layer lines. And it tells a fascinating story. So PRUSAMENT was by far the best for layer adhesion, followed by FILAMATRIX's PLA, and then Nextshapes PLA Pro. This actually feels right because Nextshapes Pro PLA really performs like a good regular PLA. Not much different from the other standard PLA filaments. Even in tensile strength, this filament was right in line with the standard PLA. Sadly, 3D Fuel, their TOUGH Pro PLA Plus, performed the worst here, leaving it at the bottom for strength and the layer adhesion. The last data point I want to bring up is layer adhesion strength retention, and this is big for those of you printing complex parts and you can't always print it in a way that avoids any load along the layer lines. And this graph shows consistency by showing how strong the filament is compared to its layer adhesion. So this shows Prusa is the best, meaning it's the most consistent in its properties. It basically boils down to, along the layer lines, PRUSAMENT retains about 70% of its strength, while 3D Fuel is the worst, only retaining about 25% of its strength along its layer lines. This is important because it means a part is a lot more predictable when it comes to these higher percentages. Really, all the PLAs are relatively predictable if we pretend that Nextshapes PLA Pro is really just a good PLA. I'm not sure what's in it, but this is just another data point where Nextshapes Pro filament acts like a fairly good standard PLA. What does this all mean? Well, for the most part, a decent PLA is a decent PLA, and you know what you're gonna get. But in the world of PLA Pro Plus Max TOUGH Pro PLA Plus, whatever suffix is added to the end, you never know what you're actually going to get. So I stand by my original thought that you don't need to upgrade PLA with one of these fancy premium PLAs. My advice for anybody thinking long-term about consistency is the only good reason to get a premium PLA is a special color you want or you want to try it on non-functional parts, because there's almost always a better filament for the job. And predictability really matters when it comes to making anything important. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.